welcome back. And my guest right now is Narbe Alexandrian. He's the Vice President of Business Development. Narbe, welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, tell me about your role at Canopy Rivers.
So my role in Canopy Rivers is to lead the investment team. So we look for minority investments all across the world within the cannabis value chain. So our whole process is understanding what are the best of breed companies across that value chain and to synthetically create a vertically integrated cannabis company with the best companies you can find across different sectors such as technology, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, brands, cultivation, you name it.
Yeah, you bet. So today you guys put out a press release announcing that you made an investment in, was it Headset?
Headset, yeah.
Yeah, and that was really intriguing to me because it's not a cannabis product producer per se, but rather it's focused on the information of cannabis. And so what was it about that transaction? Maybe we could use that as a bit of an example as to the process by which you guys make a decision to make an investment.
Absolutely. If you take a look at the traditional technology industry, data is everything. Data moves companies. Google is worth what it is because of the data. Facebook is worth what it is because of the data. Same set of data is going to be very applicable to the cannabis industry. Right now, a lot of the CPG companies, let's backtrack. CPG companies in the traditional realm, Procter & Gamble,
Consumer packaged goods you're talking.
Exactly. When they create a product, they do about 2 years of R&D testing. They look at not what formulation they're going to put in the product, but what marketing is going to look like, what branding, what the brand is going to be, what the logo is going to be, what colors they're going to use, what demographic they're going to go after. This is all based off of a data set that they grab from the likes of Nielsen or IRI research. Mm-hmm. That same aspect has to be applicable to the cannabis industry down the road as brands start to froth up and take more of the mind share for the consumer. So what are the brands going to use in terms of finding that data? Well, Headset is the only and the first real-time retail intelligence platform out there that grabs data from POS systems and gives a set of data to the retailer, gives a set of data to the brands, and gives a set of data to the broad industry of what's actually moving, what market share different brands have, how things are being priced, and what trends we're seeing in the market today.
Mm-hmm. So do the recipients of that data pay Headset for creating the data for them?
No, so retailers actually get what we call Headset Retailer. And Headset Retailer is a system for them to track inventory, to track vendors, and to track bud tenders and how the bud tenders are selling. In exchange for getting that platform for free, they give away their POS system data for free. So Headset's integrated into 20 different POS system providers right now, so that automatically pulls the data very easily and provides it to the brands as well as the broader industry.
So would they be plugged into, for example, the Ontario Cannabis Store online?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So they have an integration with Shopify.
And so how will Canopy Rivers monetize that investment over time?
We think data is going to be huge in the industry. We think that it's going to whoever captures that data and holds that data is going to have authority on understanding what trends are going to exist in the market today, what products customers need, what products customers are going after in real time. So we think that gives us a lot of insight of what's going to happen within the industry, which can guide us into our investment decision making of what brands to look after, what verticals to focus in on, as well as tons of other things you can do with the data down the road as the platform becomes bigger and more states start to subscribe to it as well.
Mm-hmm. So when did Canopy first become aware of Headset, and what was the sort of arc of events that happened before you said, hey, you know what, let's make an investment?
We've been tracking the retail business intelligence space for quite some time right now. We did a lot of research of talking to consumer packaged good companies, snack and beverage companies, and finding out what is it that drives their understanding of the industry. And through a lot of those conversations, Headset kept coming up. Headset's customers aren't just the brands, aren't just bud tenders and retailers, but they're non-cannabis companies as well. So these snack, beverage, consumer product goods companies, they're actually customers of Headset. They look at the data, and while they haven't done any investments within the space or haven't had any headlines, they're passively monitoring what's happening within each of those geographies.
Mm-hmm. So does this represent a shift in the interest of Canopy as an investment enterprise away from products and consumer packaged goods into what is the next evolution of the cannabis industry, data and monitoring and that kind of thing?
I think our investment thesis stays the same. We're looking at everything across the entire value chain. So cultivation we still take a look at, brands we still take a look at, of course, and we think brands are going to be huge in the next wave of cannabis. But as time goes on and as mass market takes hold and there's going to be 3 or 4 large players within the cannabis space worldwide, we think that the technology is going to be a horizontal layer underpinning a lot of these different pieces of the value chain. And technology is broad. I don't just mean software or hardware. I mean genetics, plant sciences, life sciences. A lot of the technology that exists within there as well can be applicable to cultivation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what is the typical investment size that Canopy Rivers considers? What's the sweet spot?
Yeah, we're unique in the sense that we're life cycle investors. So we can write checks anywhere between $500,000 to $40 million in one shot. And what makes us really unique is that there's no stage that really scares us. So we can go in at a very early stage, in a seed stage, write a small check and take a large percentage, or we can go all the way to the very end, right before the company goes public, and put a check in with a closer exit.
Mm-hmm. When you make the decision to invest, do you have an exit strategy in mind, or is it more of an open-ended, we'll make an investment now, see how it goes, consider the exit, at some point in the future, it's not part of that initial consideration?
We always have to think about an exit. We do make investments and we want to find out what's out there, but sometimes these companies don't really require an exit. Maybe they go cash flow positive really soon, and we have cash flows, and we have a number of assets that provide us with that. There's other companies that we have in our portfolio that are well suited for an M&A by a large player once legalization takes place in the US. There's other portfolio companies out there that are very ripe for going public through an RTO or an IPO down the road as well. So for our portfolio, when we manage it, we look at all of those different areas. We spread across the risk across each of those three segments in order to create a balanced portfolio for our shareholders.
So would you say that the portfolio is tactically opportunistic as well as strategically long-term focused?
Absolutely, and we look at different ways to tackle those and to break those down, whether it be international markets we're looking at or nascent industries that cannabis just hasn't gotten into but is going to follow that path because every other one of its peers in terms of industries have done that same thing.
Sure. So then, without revealing any secrets, can you give us some indication of emerging opportunities that people might not be thinking of yet?
I wouldn't say that there's nobody thinking about it because there's a lot of smart people within the industry, but we believe there's a lot of segments outside of just cultivation, and I think plant science is probably my favorite one. Just understanding how the plant grows and what the genetics look like and what technologies are added on top of that. In addition to that, I think brands are going to be huge as well. There's a lot of really huge brands being developed, and we can see that's the headset data as well. And we can apply that to a bunch of different geographies. As the US can't do that, as a Canadian, we can.
What is it that makes a great brand relative to one that's not so great?
There's a few things. One is absolutely distribution, getting your product out in as many people as you can, in many stores as you can. Secondly, it's just customer service. It's understanding the customer in and out, talking to them, listening to them, following them on social media, call it, but just really getting a deep understanding of what the customer wants and how they're reacting to the product and skewing it, being flexible enough to skew the product line. Maybe it's a color, maybe it's a logo as the customer's taste changes, and they want something else.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Narbe, that's great. We're going to leave it there for now, and happy to have you back and get more secrets from the Canopy Rivers business machine.